Now let's look at some division algorithms. First, we're going to start using blocks. So if I wanted to compute a division, like 726 divided by 6, I could write it this way if I want. In fact, I can write it a few other ways. I could write it as 726 divided by 6 or 726 divided by 6. We can write it any which way we want. It still means the same operation. To use blocks to represent this division, what I'm going to do is start by representing the number 726 using base 10 blocks. So that would be 7 flats, 2 longs, 6 units. And then I'm going to look for groups of 6. Immediately, I see that I can make a group of 6 units. I can also make a group of 6 flats. But then I'm left with 1 flat and 2 longs. And I need to know if I can make any groups out of that. So I can't just go circling things willy-nilly. Maybe it's best to start with the largest number. Let's start with these 7 flats. We know that we can make one group of 6 out of the 7 flats. So we circle that and we consider that a group that we're not going to break open. And then we move down to the longs. Right now I can see 2 longs, but I also see a flat that's been kicked out of the flat group because it didn't fit. We're going to break that flat open and make it into longs. Now, instead of having 1 flat and a couple of longs, we can see that we have multiple longs to create groups out of. Notice that we now can create 2 groups of 6. So in each one of these circles, I have 6 longs. We finished with the longs, now we can move on to the units. There happen to be exactly 6 units, so we're able to make a group of 6 there as well. This relates to the standard division algorithm very well. When we say 6 goes into 7, what we're saying is, of the 7 in the hundreds place, how many groups of 6 can we make? Well, looking at our diagram here, we were able to make one group of 6. Once we made that group, we pulled those 6 flats off the table, leaving behind 1 flat. That flat was then added to the next place value, so that we had 1 flat, 2 longs, but we broke that flat open to make it look like 10 longs. So now we're not looking at it as a flat, we're looking at it as a long. We were able to make 2 groups out of those longs after we opened up the flat, and we didn't have any longs left over. And then lastly, we looked at our units. Of our 6 units, we were able to make one group of 6 with none left over. So we have 121 as our final answer. And if we look at our base 10 blocks, we can see that same thing. In the hundreds, or the flats, we were able to make one group. That's 1 flat. In the longs, we were able to make 2 groups. That's 2 longs. And in the units, we made 1 group. 1 flat, 2 longs, 1 unit, that looks like the number 121, just like the answer we got when we used the long division standard algorithm.